Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Afifahia bint Fazul and I'm from class KBA 27358. And today I will be presenting on the article titled The Future of Leadership: How Conflict Resolution Elevates Teamship. In this presentation, I will summarize the article, share my critical analysis supported by academic sources, discuss the real case study, also provided some recommendation. Before I go further, let me explain the meaning of teamship. Teamship, it refers to the qualities, conditions, and elements that must exist for a team to excel, thrive, and produce sustainable results. It also emphasizes the effective collaboration, shared contribution, and collective efforts, rather than relying on one leader alone. In the article, the author explains that the traditional top-down leadership is no longer effective in today's fast-changing, digital and diverse workplace. Instead, leadership must evolve into teamship, where responsibilities are shared and communication flows openly. The article also highlights that the most important skill supporting teamship is conflict resolutions, because when teams address disagreements constructively, they can build their trust, psychological safety, and stronger the teamwork. Okay, now I will moving on to the critical analysis, where I strongly agree with this argument because shifting from leadership to teamship allows everyone, including leaders, to have better understand work processes, contribute ideas, and learn from one another to another. Teamship also breaks the hierarchy barriers between the bosses and staff. It also promotes transparency as well as equal participation. This can create a healthier workplace culture where everyone feels responsible for team success. The article also supports this idea by showing that teamship encourages shared ownership, open dialogue, and collective problem solving. And based on my agreement, it has been supported by 5 academic articles, where the first study explains that leadership is shifting towards a more people-oriented and communication-based approach due to the digital transformation. This aligns with teamship, where leaders guide, support, and collaborate instead of controlling. The second study highlights that Gen Z prefer leaders who are empathic, transparent, and inclusive, with traits that naturally support the teamship model. And the third article on the leader-member exchange showed that a strong relationship built through open communication and effective conflict management also help increase emphasis on conflict resolution. And the fourth academic sources explain that leaders plays a major role in shaping organizational culture by promoting collaboration, shared values, and participative in decision-making is a core principle of teamship. Meanwhile, the fifth article discusses sustainable leadership and explains that psychological safety, ethical behavior, and trust are a key components of effective leadership. These elements are also crucial for the teamship to function successfully. And all the 5 academic articles reinforce that the idea that the future of leadership must focus on communication, collaboration, and shared responsibility. Okay, now I will moving on to the real-life example, where in local context, I choose the Petronas. Petronas demonstrate a collaborative leadership, even if the company may not formally use the term of teamship. Leaders at Petronas act as coaches rather than supervisors. They encourage open communication, empower employees to contribute ideas, and support cross-functional teamwork. Programs such as the Leadership Center and Coaching Initiative show how decision-making is shared, which reflects the teamship values. And for the second example from industry, where I choose Toyota, it illustrates teamship on a global scale through the Toyota production system. Employees at all levels are empowered to solve problems and propose improvement. Leaders act as mentors instead of authoritative figures, creating an environment where teamwork, innovation, and shared responsibility flourish. This example shows that the teamship improves performance, collaboration, and organizational culture. Now, I will moving on to my recommendation, where I provide a 3 recommendation. And the first, organization should provide a conflict resolution and negotiation training for employees and leaders. Since the teamship depends on how well conflicts are handled, this training will help the teams communicate respectfully, reduce misunderstanding, and maintain trust with each other. Second, the companies must build a psychological safety, meaning that employees may feel safe to express their idea, ask questions, and raise their problems without fear with management. Psychological safety also directly supports a conflict resolution because it can create an environment where disagreement can be discussed openly. And finally, organizations should implement a teamship practices such as a shared decision-making, role rotation, and cross-functional collaboration. These practices encourage equal participation and strengthen the team's ability to resolve a conflict collectively. In conclusion, leadership must evolve into teamship because today's work environment requires a collaboration, flexibility, and shared responsibility. Teamship promotes a trust, innovation, and stronger teamwork through open communication and constructive conflict resolution. The article, academic evidence, and real-life example from Petronas and Toyota clearly shows that teamship leads to a more resilient, high-performing, and supportive organizational culture. Therefore, teamship is not just a new leadership idea, it is a necessary evolution for future organization. That's all from me. Thank you for paying attention.